It's your girl Nay Rose, and as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be doing a story time. And this story time is about when I was 6 and I walked to my aunt's house in the Bay Area at night. Alright, so this happened, like I said, in the Bay Area. We were in Vallejo, California, and me and my family lived in these apartments. And like it was apartments that were connected, and you have to walk down a hill to actually get to the end of the apartments, or drive up a hill to get to your apartment complex or whatever, to go park your car and shit. And it was at night, and your girl was just like so determined to go to my aunt's house because, okay, so my older sister Jaleesa, she planned on going to spend the night at my aunt's house that night with my cousin Lanisha. And I was like, I want to go. So I went to my mom and I was just like, can I go? And she was just like, no. Like literally, like the whole day she kept telling me no, because I guess my sister didn't want me to go, and yeah, she just didn't want me to go. But I'm like, that's my favorite auntie. Like, why wouldn't I want to go? Like, why can't I go? Like, I don't understand. I just wasn't understanding the fact that my sister wanted to go by herself because she didn't want to have to watch me and shit, whatever. I don't know. But okay, so that whole day I was begging my mama, wouldn't let me go. I was just so like ready to go. Like the girl was just ready to go and watch, to go spend the night at my aunt's house. Okay, so I'm going on this tangent. I'm sorry, but so let's skip to like the night time or whatever. So it was night, and my sister ended up going to my aunt's. Like my dad ended up dropping her off at my aunt's house. I was still kind of upset. I was just like, why can't I go? Why can't I go? My mom just kept telling me no. So I took it upon myself to wake up at like probably like 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and was trying to wake up my older brother, Leo, but he was not getting up. I was like, bro, get up, get up, get up. He wasn't getting up. So I was just like, okay, so I'm gonna just go by myself. So I literally put my clothes on backwards, literally clothes inside out and shit, shoes on different foot, jacket inside out, hair looking crazy, like your girl was ready, like it was crazy. And so I tried to wake up my brother again. He wasn't trying to get up at all. So I was just like, okay. And so I just like, okay, I'm going by myself. So I literally walked outside my door. Like, it was dark as fuck at night too. I walk outside my door, walk down the hill. I'm walking down this big ass fucking hill and shit. And then as you walk down the hill, you would have to walk across the street to get to the street to where you can keep going straight to go to my aunt's apartment. So literally I crossed the street, a busy ass fucking street, 6 years old, cross the street and everything. So I'm just walking, girl, hearing dogs and shit, like wasn't scared. And what's crazy now, like me thinking, like I will never be brave enough to do some shit like now at the age I am now, because I'm scared of like dogs, and I'm scared like dogs would be out trying to chase me and shit. And it's just crazy how like I'm like a totally different Johnny. But yeah, so I'm walking or whatever, and as I'm walking, this lady pulls up in like this van next to me, and she just pulls up next to me, just asking me questions like, where are you going? I was like, I'm going to my aunt's house. Where's your parents? My parents is at the house sleeping. What are you doing out here by yourself? I decided to walk to my aunt's house. You know, she's not far, so I decided to come by myself. My brother didn't want to come with me, so I decided to go by myself. She was just like, okay, okay. So mind you, in my head, I'm thinking like, why didn't this lady, like me thinking now, like why didn't this lady like stop her car and be like, look, you're coming in the car with me, like we're about to go like to the police department to figure out where's your parents, or figure out where you live so I can drop you off, like this is not okay. But literally she was just like, okay, this girl's determined, she's gonna go, so I'm just gonna drive next to her and see where she going. So literally, like, she driving next to me, trying to like just keeping a conversation with me or whatever. And so we walk in and we finally make it to my aunt's house. So I go to my aunt's house and then I'm just like, hey auntie, and then she just like, where's your daddy? And I was just like, he just dropped me off. And I knew she didn't believe me, because usually when my dad dropped us off, he would always come upstairs, chop it up with her, talk to her, be like, here's your name, and just you know, have a conversation or something before he goes, but before he leave. But yeah, so I just felt like she didn't believe me at all. So I go in the house or whatever, and she calls my dad, and she's like, hey, you know, where's Janae? And my dad's like, Janae's in her room asleep. And then my auntie was like, no, she is not. She literally walked to my house, and she's at my house right now. And my dad was just like, what? Like, what the hell? Are you serious? Like, no, like, I can't believe this. And then so he come and pick me up, and I thought I was about to get my ass whooped. Like, I thought, you know them whoopings that you will never forget? I thought that was about to be me. I thought that they was about to give me a whooping that literally would make me never do something like that again. Like, I was just waiting for it, because I knew it was about to happen. So we go in the car, whatever. My dad's just looking at me, just like, you know, looking at me in shock or whatever. And so we finally make it back to my house. We go into my parents' room, and both of my parents are just sitting on their bed, and I'm at the end of the bed, and they're just looking at me, and I'm just waiting for my dad to get his belt or something and just about to start giving me a whooping. But they didn't whoop me. They were just pretty much like, what were you thinking? Like, you could have died. Somebody could have took you. You could have got raped. Like, luckily your girl didn't get her ass beat. I didn't get a whooping. They were more in shock, and I think they were more happy that I didn't get taken or anything than wanting to get me a whooping. So yes, and like the next day my dad went to, like, you know, AutoZone or something, and like got a lock and like put it on the door so that can never happen again. But yeah, like, the girl didn't get a whooping. I was just so happy that I did not get a whooping. But yeah, that is the story. That is the story time when I walked to my aunt's house at night in Bay Area. Crazy. I just hope that my kids don't grow up to be like me, because I could not deal with a child like that. Nuh-uh. Like, your girl was adventurous as fuck when I was little. Excuse my language. But yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, comment down below if you guys want to see any other type of story times or any other videos, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell. Alright, bye y'all. Alright, this is a part that I missed out on telling the story. My aunt did tell me, like, recently, that the lady that was in the car that was like following me and everything, she came to the door and she told me that she was following me, just making sure where I was going, making sure I knew where I was going, because there were two boys that were following behind me, walking behind me and stuff. So yeah, and then she said after the lady left, the two boys walked up to my aunt's apartment complex and was just like, hey, we were watching her just to make sure she knew where she was going, because it was a car that was driving next to her. So it's just crazy how, like, they were both like watching me, man. Like, they were literally some guardian angels or something.